Hey everybody, it's Justin with Sillage Scents. Today I'm going to do a single fragrance review video for you on one that I realized, I got this in last year and I never did a single fragrance video on it. This is one I was so excited to get because of the predecessor that I really loved. And I got it in and I've put it in a bunch of videos, but never did a single video on this fragrance. So I want to talk about the hype beast of late. This is Intense CEDRAT BOISE, beautiful fragrance from MANCERA. It's an extrait de parfum, so it's a 40% oil concentration. We're talking beast mode concentration with this fragrance. It's beautiful, but there are some caveats that I'll mention. As we get going, please subscribe to the channel. I've got videos coming out every couple days, and I hope you'll join us. And also let me know down in the comments, have you tried this one? Have you tried the original? How do they compare? Have you tried the, I think it's Paris Corner has a clone of this one. Have you tried that one? And what do you think? Or they actually have a clone of the original CEDRAT BOISE. So this one is just beautiful, bright, juicy fruits with a little bit of woods and leather and oud in the base. This one's very similar to the original, but it's got some more thickness, some more heft, some more weight. Some even say a little more animalic, and I do understand what they mean by that, but it's just because that touch more leather and that touch of oud does give it the faintest animalic quality. I was actually wearing this in my office the other day, and a friend came in and said, it smells like, I don't know, like whiskey and cigars in here. I thought that was so weird. It was the only thing I'd worn all day. I hadn't sprayed any air freshener. He was smelling this, and I think what he was saying is it smells like a dude in here. It smells like a man in here. So I kind of get the animalic. I don't get whiskey and cigars, but nevertheless, it's a masculine smelling fragrance, I think. But the beautiful citrus and other fruits, the actual notes that you're going to get, you've got Sicilian citruses and black currant. I love black currant in the opening of a fragrance. It's one of the most beautiful fruit notes in the opening of a fragrance. In the mid, you've got leather, white sandalwood, Cambodian oud, patchouli leaf, and jasmine. And so in the mid, you do have that little bit of leather. You've got that little bit of oud. And so that's where that slight earthiness comes from. It's kind of in a similar vein as the way that Aventus starts out with kind of sweet, bright fruitiness and then goes into a little bit of, earthiness or a little bit of darkness. This one has some similarities to Aventus, although they don't smell alike. And then in the base, you've got ambergris, vanilla, white musk, and oak moss. And there is some sweetness in this fragrance. And that oak moss is also pretty noticeable. It's another crossover with a fragrance like Aventus. And so you're going to get, Ross over on TLTG calls it a wicker basket full of fruits. And it is something like that. I think this one even more so than the original. But here's the thing about this one. It is super strong. And I have had the runaround testing this thing, trying to figure out, is this a weak performing fragrance or am I going nose blind? If I spray 5 or 6 sprays of this, I go completely nose blind for the life of the fragrance. But I've had other times where I'll spray 2 sprays of this and I will smell it for hours. Actually, one of my sons wore it last night. He wore 2 sprays, like kind of a half spray on the crook of each arm and a small spray on the back of his neck. And I smelled him, for 6 hours before he went to bed. I would walk into the room with basically what equates to 2 sprays, and I would smell the fragrance whenever I'd get 6 or 8 feet away from him. I'm talking 3 or 4 hours later. But the type of fragrance it is, similar to Aventus and any strong fragrance like this. There are strong fragrances that I smell the entire time I wear them, but this is one that causes anosmia, it causes nose blindness, it leaves a beautiful sillage, a massive scent trail. Again, with one of my sons wearing it at my wife's 40th birthday party, I was walking around this big room where we had, even out in the hallways where we had this event, and I would pass their scent trail and smell it, 10 minutes after they had walked by. So it's a super cool fragrance. It's a great, versatile, all year round, every situation, signature scent. You can get it for around $100 or less, even though it's a fairly new release. highly, highly recommend Intense CEDRAT BOISE. I actually prefer this fragrance profile now to Aventus. I've had so many versions of Aventus through the years, or at least that DNA. But if you like Aventus, you're going to love this most likely. If you've been thinking about it, you might as well pull the trigger. I have had Paris Corner's, I think it's either Paris Corner or Fragrance World. I believe it's Paris Corner. I've had their dupe of the original, and it is pretty good. It's not as dark or heavy as this one is, but it is pretty good. Similar performance as the original. However you get it, get a hold of this fragrance profile, and I think you're going to love it. Okay, again, let me know down in the comments, what do you think of CEDRAT BOISE and this X-Straight version? And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I'd love to see you around, as I've got videos coming out all the time. All right, I'm Justin. This has been Sillage Scents. I'll see you on the next one.